Hello everyone, this is Grace. It is October the 5th, 2023, and we are continuing our study on the tithe, and that has brought us to Malachi. So, as I mentioned before in the previous videos, I got a lot of the scriptures from watching other sermons on the tithe, and one that kept coming up was Malachi. This was a big theme for almost all of the videos that I watched. One of the arguments against it was that this is not speaking to the people of God. Now I understand why they say that, because if we go back a chapter to chapter 2, as well as chapter 1, but we don't need to go back that far. But if we go back to chapter 2, it starts off, "And now, O ye priests, this commandment is for you." He's actually speaking to the priests pretty much throughout, off and on throughout the chapter. But it's not always about the priests that he's speaking. It just isn't. He's speaking to the priests here, but by the time you get down to the next section, he's speaking to all the people. "Have we not all one Father? Hath not one God created us? Why do we deal treacherously, every man against his brother, by profaning the covenant of our fathers?" It's talking about every man. Judah, all of Judah has dealt treacherously, and an abomination is committed in Israel and in Jerusalem. For Judah has profaned the holiness of the Lord, which he loved, and has married the daughter of a strange God. It starts off talking to the priests, and the priests are certainly present. But the priests are not the topic throughout the chapter of Malachi. And even if they were, it doesn't change. It doesn't change anything. Even if you still insist on believing that, look at this. "You have wearied the Lord with your words. Yet you say, wherein have we wearied him? When you say, every one that doeth evil is good in the sight of the Lord, and he delighteth in him. Or, where is the God of judgment?" Do you think the priests can be saying this and the people don't follow behind them? This is everyone. This is a saying in the land. I mean, everyone, not everyone. There's always a few Christians. There's always a few faithful. But everyone there in the land is saying this. But the priests are leading them into this. "And now, O ye priests, this commandment is for you. If you will not hear, and if you will not lay it to your heart to give glory unto my name, saith the Lord of hosts, I will even send a curse upon you, and I will curse your blessings. Yea, I will curse your blessings." Pay attention to what's being said. "Yea, I have cursed them already, because you do not lay it to your heart. Behold, I will corrupt your seed and spread dung. Behold, I will corrupt your seed and spread dung upon your faces, even the dung of your solemn feasts. And one shall take you away with it." You're going to go into captivity if you don't stop. "I'm going to hurt your children. I'm going to embarrass you. I'm going to spread dung upon your face. You're going to be humiliated. Your children are going to be corrupt, and you're going to be taken into captivity. And you're going to know that I sent this commandment unto you, that my covenant might be with Levi, says the Lord." The covenant was made with Levi, a covenant with him of life and peace. "And I gave it to him for the fear with where he feared me, and was afraid before my name. The law of truth was in his mouth, and iniquity was not found in his lips. He walked with me in peace." I'm reading this to you for a reason, because it actually applies to the next section as well. The corruption started with the priests, but it led out to the people. It wasn't just the priests that were going to go into captivity. The priests were teaching the people. It applied to all. But I understand why they said it, because he does address the preachers. He's addressing the leadership. That's no different than everywhere else in the Bible. It's not about the priests, though. It's about the people. And it even starts out that way. "For I am the Lord, I change not." Oh, let me take this opportunity to correct something that I said before. I gave an example, and I don't want to offend anyone, so I'm going to give the same example twice. And it was about the law. The Lord does not change. The law has not changed. It's still there for you to see, for you to... The Bible says that the law is good, it's holy, it's just. What are you going to trade it out for? The wicked, unjust, and lie? The law is good, it's justice, truth. You want to trade it out for the wicked, unholy lie? No. But let me give the example. I said, okay, so if you compare yourself to something other than the 10 Commandments, if you compare yourself to another man and you just get to make up your own standards of righteousness, then you could just look at the murderer and you could say, oh, well, I'm better than a murderer. And then the murderer could just say, and I said, he could just say, oh, well, at least I'm not black. And then the black man could say, okay, well, at least I'm not a black woman. I didn't want to leave it at that. I don't want to offend anyone, so I'm leaving it on myself. But my point wasn't to attack anybody, basically. My point was to say, I hope that's clear. I'm not saying that the black man is anything, okay? I'm putting the black woman there at the bottom. That's what I am, okay? But my point was to say that you must have the law to get through this. This is a partnership. You must have the law. You cannot do away with it. If you do away with it, what are you going to replace it with? The only thing you can replace it with is to make up your own standards of righteousness to live by. You don't get the right to say that you can live however you want to, but that person over there that's doing you wrong is somehow evil and unjust. Give them the same standards which you freely give yourself. If they get to do wickedness without limits, then you can do away with the law. But you can't play both sides of the field. But we'll look into that further. But I just didn't want to offend anyone, and it occurred to me that someone might have been offended by that. So my apologies if you were offended by that previous example that I gave. Stop saying that the law is not valid. It is. You need the law. You cannot throw it out. You have to have it there to show. That's the purpose of it. The purpose of it was to convict you, to show you that you needed a God, to show you that you were living in sin. I'm starting to dislike the word sin very much because it's so abused in the Bible. To show you that you were living unjustly or unholy. Now that you have the opportunity to be redeemed, you just want to do away with the thing that led you to God? No, absolutely not. We'll talk about that more later, though. For I am the Lord, I change not. Therefore, ye sons of Jacob are not consumed. It's speaking of everyone. Even from the days of your fathers, ye are gone away from mine ordinances, and have not kept them. Return unto me, and I will return unto you, saith the Lord of hosts. But ye said, wherein shall we return? Will a man rob God? Yet ye have robbed me. But ye say, wherein have we robbed thee? In tithes and offering. Ye are cursed with a curse, for ye have robbed me, even this whole nation. I didn't realize this was a thing. I thought everybody kind of knew that the tithe was a blessing. This word right here, cursed, it's just a word. It's always going to say you are cursed or ye are. Wait, hold on. Let me put a caveat on this. Numbers 5 is not real. It was just made up. It was put in the Bible. If you see this word in Numbers 5, it's a verb. It's an action that is going to take place. That's because they misused the word. I didn't read all of the scriptures, but pretty much everywhere else you see it, it's just a word. It's like saying a cuss word. You curse the person. Ye, it's going to say you are cursed, he is cursed, she is cursed, they are cursed. Somebody has been cursed. Because that's what it means. It just means you are cursed. This word right here is this curse. Let's look it up. Oh, let's look up this one first so you can see for yourself. Okay, hold on. It was doing so good before. I'm not sure why it wants to slow down now. Come on. To curse, to be cursed, to be cursed. Let's look at the definition here. Let's look this up. need a definition here. To declare to be evil or detestable, denounce, to detest utterly. To detest utterly, abhor, abominate, to curse, imprecate evil upon, to denounce, to utter curses. It's what you're saying about a person. You're not actually doing anything to them other than pronouncing wickedness against them, basically. I am announcing this wicked thing. Except in Numbers 5, where it actually is saying that something bad, it's something bad is going to happen in Numbers 5, but that's not real. This word, with a curse, it's telling them they're already cursed. Something bad has already happened to them, basically. A curse. It's using the same word. It's not really the same thing. This curse is not a curse. Let's look at, hold on. Okay, let's look at Scriptures for All. What he's telling them is their blessings are going to be taken away. It's the same thing that I read to you in the previous chapter. Ye are cursed with a curse, for ye have robbed me, even this whole nation. We're not going to go to Malachi 2:2. That's what we just read. He has given unto the poor. He that giveth unto the poor shall not lack, but he that hideth his eyes shall have many a curse. Many a curse. What's the opposite of giving? If what's the opposite of lacking? He shall want. He's going to want. The curse of the Lord is in the house of the wicked, but he that blesses the habitation of the just. But he blesseth the habitation of the just. I can't read. Okay. The Lord shall send upon thee cursings, vexations, and rebuke. Words, and there's no, it doesn't have to be words, vexation and rebuke. In all that thou, but they can't mean the same thing, or they wouldn't be repeated. In all that thou settest thine hand unto for to do, until thou be destroyed, and until thou perish quickly, because of the wickedness of thy doings, whereby thou hast forsaken me. I don't know why I'm having a hard time reading. Let's go back to Malachi 2. Hold on. Let me do this. Let me read it like this. Let's read this. Ye are cursed with a curse, for ye have robbed me, even this whole nation. But then it goes, bring ye the tithes into the storehouse, that ye may be meat, so that there may be meat in mine house, and prove me now wherewith, saith the Lord of hosts, if I will not open to you the windows of heaven, and pour you out a blessing, that there shall not be room enough to receive it. And I will rebuke the devourer for your sakes, and he shall not destroy the fruits of your ground, neither shall your vine cast her fruit before the time in the field, saith the Lord of hosts. And all nations shall call you blessed, for ye shall be a delightsome land, says the Lord of hosts. Where's the curse? Where is the ye are cursed with the cursed? Your men are going to die in war. Your daughters are going to become whores. You're going to go into captivity. You're going to catch a plague. You're going to be, the list goes on and on and on. Where's the curse? The curse is you're not going to receive your blessings. That's what the curse is. Ye are cursed with not receiving blessings. Ye are cursed with a curse, for ye have robbed me, even this whole nation. Then he tells you how to fix the curse, because you're already cursed, and he assumes that you know it. The same thing is in the previous chapter. He's telling you, because you are doing this, I can't bless you. That's what the curse is. You are cursed, so I can't bless you. Because the Lord doesn't change. He's not going to hurt you because you're doing wrong. That would make him vindictive, wouldn't he? He just pulls away his blessings. But, hold on, let's read this and then we'll go back. And now, O ye priests, this commandment is for you. If you will not hear, and if you will not lay it to your heart to give glory unto my name, saith the Lord of hosts, I will even send a curse upon you. I'm going to send a curse upon you. And I will curse what? Your blessings. Yea, I have cursed them already, because you do not lay it to heart. Behold, now here comes the real curse. I'm going to send a curse upon you. He's already cursed your blessings. And I'm going to send a curse upon you. Without his blessings, first of all, your money is not blessed. So it's not going to multiply. Well, it's not going to be multiplied by God. The wicked bless the wicked. Let's just be real. Satan, he doesn't particularly care if the wicked are rich. He just wants to make sure it's not in your hands, basically. Behold, I will corrupt your seed and spread dung upon your face, even the dung of the solemn feast of your solemn feasts, and one shall take you away with it. And ye shall know that I have sent this commandment unto you, that my covenant might be with Levi, saith the Lord of hosts. I am the Lord, I change not. So when he says you're cursed with a curse, he's saying you're cursed with no blessings, because you have robbed me, even this whole nation. He can't bless your money if you have taken the money from him. How can he? How can he do that? How can he reward you for going against the law? It's not a sin. It is not a sin to not tithe. It's just not. It's similar to the health laws. If you do the health laws, there's a promise, there's a blessing of health. Which, I mean, everybody's susceptible to the plagues, from my understanding. When you go through the tribulation, I mean, everybody's susceptible to the plagues. But you still have a promise that it's just not the same. It's not the same. The same thing, but the same principle applies with the tithe. If you tithe, then your money becomes blessed and it can multiply. And he even tells you to test him. Why is it so horrible to take God at his word? Well, I know why. It's because you're pushing back too hard against the con artists, or the people that you see see as con artists. Bring ye all the tithes into the storehouse, that there may be meat in mine house, and prove me now herewith. Prove me. Why can't you prove him? Why is that horrible? I understand why it's horrible. I understand. You're not supposed to test God. Test him. He tells you to do it. He tells you it's okay. Prove me now herewith, saith the Lord of hosts, if I will not open you the windows of heaven and pour you out a blessing, that there shall not be room enough to receive it. That is some kind of a blessing right there. It doesn't always have to be money. It can be other things. He tells you, I will rebuke the devourer for your sakes, and he shall not destroy the fruit of your ground. So he's going to rebuke the devourer. Remember the people in the wilderness? They walked 40 years in they had the same clothes, and the clothes didn't wear out. But if you don't do it, if you don't tithe, and you are supposed to, you have your needs met, and you have the money to tithe. He can't bless your money. You bought a refrigerator. It breaks down a year later, right after the warranty runs out. I will rebuke the devourer for your sakes, and he shall not destroy the fruits of your ground, neither shall your vine cast her fruit before the time in the field, saith the Lord of hosts. Is there anything at all that makes you think that you're going to be sent into captivity, or something bad is going to happen to you because you didn't tithe? There's nothing like that in here. Nothing like that in the Bible. He said in the previous chapter, he said, you are already cursed. But he also says, I'm going to send a curse upon you. And then he tells you what the curse is going to be. Their seed is not corrupt. They're not humiliated, and they're not into captivity. But they are already cursed. Their blessings are cursed. Their money is cursed. One of the themes that the preachers like to say in the videos that I watch, and I liked it. I'll repeat it. I don't remember it. Never mind. Something like 90% of blessed money is better than 100% when it's unblessed. That's close enough to it. I think that's the whole thing. Your words have been stout against me, saith the Lord. Yet ye say, hold on a moment. What have we spoken so much against thee? Ye have said it is vain to serve God. And what profit is it that we have kept his ordinance, and that we have walked mournfully before the Lord of hosts? And now we call the proud happy. Yea, they that work wickedness are set up. Yea, they that tempt God are even delivered. And he even brings it up in here that they tempt God. But he tells you, prove me. This is your God speaking to you. Can God lie? Let's have a little faith here. This was not for the priest. The priests don't get some sort of blessing that we're not all entitled to. Their blessing is the priesthood. That's where it begins and ends. He tells you that. And that was just temporarily. That was for him and for us. They accepted the duties. It was a blessing to them. It was a blessing for him for the temple service. And it was a blessing to us. Everyone was blessed by the Levites. Everyone. But you think that this is stated in the Bible all this time and nobody has said, why do the priests get a special blessing if it was just the priest? You think that this promise is going to go to the priest only? He's only speaking to the priest? No, that's just not right. That is absolutely not right. If you limit this to the priest, you limit not just the blessings, you also limit, well, not just the curse, but you also limit the blessings, you limit the captivity. You just can't do it. You can't say it's just about the priest, because the priests influence the people. It's just the way. It's just this. It doesn't make any sense any other way. All right, that's all I have to say about that. Oh, hold on. I may have other scriptures. Let me see. Oh, one of the arguments, and I forgot about this, was that he was actually, and we don't really have to go over this too much. The argument is that the argument to show that he was actually only addressing the priests was that here in Nehemiah 10, the priests are actually taking the tithes that were given to them out of the storehouse. We'll read through it real quick. And the priests, the sons of Aaron, shall be with the Levites when the Levites take tithes, and the Levites shall bring the tithe of the tithe, their tithe, the Levites' tithe, unto the house of our God, to the chamber of the treasure house. For the children of Israel and the children of Levi shall bring the offering of the corn, of the new wine, and the oil unto the chambers where are the vessels of the sanctuary, and the priests that minister, and the porters, and the singers, and we will not forsake the house of our God. So then, in chapter 13, it says, before this, Eliashib, the priest, having the oversight of the chamber of the house of our God, was allied to Tobiah, and he had prepared for him a great chamber, where aforetime they laid the meat offering, the frankincense, and the vessels, and the tithe of the corn, the new wine, and the oil, which was commanded to be given to the Levites, and the singers, and the porters, and the offerings of the priests. This is one man who has taken the storehouse and attributed everything to Tobiah. I don't know if he took everything out and he put Tobiah stuff in there, or if he gave everything to him. I didn't look at it very much because it just doesn't fit. Nehemiah is trying to do good here. Nehemiah came along and he undid all of this. When Nehemiah comes, he takes their stuff out. And I hold on. And I came to Jerusalem and understood of the evil that Eliashib did for Tobiah in preparing him a chamber in the courts of the house of God, and it grieved me sore. Therefore I cast forth all the household stuff of Tobiah out of the chamber. Then I commanded, and they cleansed the chamber, and thither brought I again the vessels of the house of God with the meat offering and the frankincense. And I perceived that the portions of the Levite had not been given to them, for the Levites and the singers that did the work were fled, every one back to his field. Then contended I with the rulers and said, why is the house of God forsaken? And I gathered them together and set them in their place. Then brought all Judah the tithe of the corn and the new wine and the oil into the treasuries. This was cleaned by Nehemiah. It doesn't match. It doesn't match at all. What's being said here and what's being done here, it makes reference to the chamber, and that's true enough. But what happened doesn't match what's going on here. It just doesn't. The people were tithing. Everyone was giving. One man took the tithe out of the storehouse. He even took from the other Levites. And Nehemiah came and cleaned it all up and tried to do right. Not the same thing at all. But it does make reference to the storehouse. So this is why they try to attribute this time frame and try to say it's just the priests that are robbing God. It's not true. It's not true. You limit the blessings to the priests when you do that. Okay. I've been speaking for 27 minutes. I think that's more than enough. We will close out here, and I will talk to you more about the tithe in the next video.